SCO summit. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, who's in attendance, has already addressed the summit now with opening remarks attacking Pakistan's terrorism. Now, Rajnath Singh has said the terrorists killed innocents in Pahalgam, says India stands against cross-border terrorism. He's also said, and I quote, demolished Pak terror in Operation Sindoor and must unite in fight against terrorism. Yet again, we see India coming out to speak up on a global platform against terrorism and cross-border terrorism, more importantly, and how there needs to be put an end and a decisive end to this very terrorism being nurtured by certain nations. Let's take a look at what exactly has been said in this excerpt from the address. We will bring to you that very excerpt, but yes, Rajnath Singh, the Defence Minister, who's arrived earlier in Qingdao, China for the SCO summit, and we had in fact expected him to bring this up. This was one of the main agendas for India to be laid down at the SCO summit. The counter-terrorism measures that India has been up and about, and how Operation Sindoor has in fact put a decisive end to that very, and it's put quite a dent in the terrorists that were terrorist organizations that were nurtured by the neighboring nation. Let's take a look at this very reaction that we have.
April 2025, the terror group, the Resistance Front, carried out a dastardly and a heinous attack on the innocent tourists in Pahalgam, in the Indian state of the Jammu and Kashmir. 26 innocent civilians, including a Nepali national, were killed. Victims were shot after they were profiled based on the religious identity. The Resistance Front, which is a proxy of UN-designated terror group Lashkar-e-Toiba, claimed responsibility for the attack. The pattern of the Pahalgam terror attack matches with LET's previous terror attacks in India. In exercising its right to defend against terrorism and preempt as well as deter further cross-border terrorist attacks, India on 7th May 2025 successfully launched Operation Sindoor to dismantle cross-border terrorist infrastructure. We reiterate the need to hold the perpetrators, organizers, financiers, and sponsors of reprehensible acts of terrorism, including cross-border terrorism, accountable and bring them to justice. Any acts of terrorism are criminal and unjustifiable, regardless of their motivation, whenever, wherever, and by whomsoever committed. SCO members must condemn this evil unequivocally.
With that, we're cutting across to Zhao Yunfei, CGTN reporter who's coming in live from Qingdao, China. Zhao, a very good morning to you from India. Thank you for speaking to us at India Today. My very first question to you would be with regards to Defence Minister Rajnath Singh's address, the opening remarks. It's a very strong-worded remark, I would say, especially against terrorism and certain countries nurturing terrorism, and how there is no scope of dialogue with such countries.
Well, certainly we're here right outside of the conference center. Well, most of the press organizations are gathering over here, so we won't be able to see live what's happening inside. But we do know that one of the major concern is certainly anti-terrorism from the Indian side. So certainly the Shanghai Cooperation Organization is a platform when it comes to anti-terrorism. I spoke with all of the guests and experts, including the Secretary of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Secretary General Yermak Bayev, and he also mentioned about anti-terrorism. But certainly there are also many other agenda on the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Certainly this is the organization that got started with the security cooperation, but certainly there are a different multiple range of fields of cooperation among different countries. So I think this is also a very rare opportunity for the Indian Defense Minister Singh to come over to Beijing, and Beijing is really looking forward to host this platform and create more opportunity from the Indian side to speak with other SCO member countries.
Right. Shah, before we move on to the other agendas, let's also quickly take a word in from you with regards to Khwaja Asif, the Defence Minister of Pakistan, is also at this very summit. What are we picking up in terms of the sense we are getting as a reaction to what's already been said by the Indian Defence Minister in his opening remarks against terrorism?
Well, I think it's a very unique opportunity when it comes to gather both the defense minister from India and the defense minister from Pakistan. Also, given the fact that the Shanghai Cooperation Organization is a place for cooperation and for dialogue mechanism. So certainly when we are having this very unique and rare opportunity, it's a great chance for the two sides to sit together. I believe that the agenda is way more than anti-terrorism. There are many other fields of cooperation that people can discuss. Of course, anti-terrorism is important, but certainly at this moment, the leaders are also talking about the ongoing fights, both in Ukraine as well as many fights in the Middle East. So certainly that shows the complexity and the importance for the people to sit down and have the cooperation, to have a friendly manner.
Right. Rao, my next question to you would be with regards to the bilateral meeting on the sidelines that we're expecting between India and China. Especially after Galwan clash, we would be seeing this as one of the first high-order meet that's happening between India and China, and also the fact that the de-escalation that we have seen along the LAC, whether that is sustainable, it will be a litmus test for that as well. How are we looking at that very bilateral meet?
Yeah, we're seeing good news between China and India, especially when there is a settlement over the border issue, as well as the two heads of state really have a great conversation. So certainly China and India are going on a way back track. And after the negotiation, the settlement of the disputes between the two countries, we're seeing many different layers of military dialogue between the two countries. And I think this is also one of the most significant one. I think that's also another reason why the Indian Defense Minister Singh will really come to Qingdao, the city, the eastern China's coastal city, to attend the SCO meeting, to meet with his Chinese counterpart as well as other SCO member counterparts.
Right, Rao, thank you so much for joining us